Anne of Cyprus was the daughter of King Janus of Cyprus and Charlotte of Bourbon, and a member of the celebrated Lusignan crusader dynasty. She was Duchess of Savoy as the wife of Louis, Duke of Savoy. On the 9th of August 1431 was signed the marriage contract between Anne and Amadeus, Prince of Piemonte and titular Prince of Achaia, eldest surviving son and heir of Amadeus VIII, Duke of Savoy. However, the prince died only 20 days later, on the 29th of August. 5 months later, on the 1st of January 1432, was signed a second marriage contract for Anne, this time with Louis of Savoy, Amadeus's younger brother and new heir of the Duchy of Savoy. The wedding took place 2 years later, on the 12th of February 1434. In Chambéry. A few months later, on the 7th of November, Duke Amadeus VIII resigned the government in the hands of his son Louis, although he officially abdicated in his favor only when he was elected as anti-pope in 1440. Anne's husband, who was more interested in poetry than his duchy, but very much in love with his wife, gradually left her to manage affairs of state. She, due to nostalgia for her own country, organized many receptions on behalf of the most powerful Cypriot lords. To impress the visitors, she decorated the castles, organized festivals, and offered gifts to the guests, the expense of which caused much protest from the peasants and nobles of the county of Vaud. To relieve some of her debts, Anne organized a match for one of her daughters, which was an advantageous alliance for the House of Savoy. In 1451, at the age of 10 years, her daughter, Charlotte, married the Dauphin of France, the future King Louis XI. He later would claim default of the promised dowry, new strongholds, and seized several castles in Bresse and several chief towns of Vaud. In 1452, Anne bought the Shroud of Turin from Jean de Charny in exchange for the castle of Bourbon. Years later, Pope Paul II authorized Yolande of France to deposit the relic of the Holy Shroud in the vault of the castle of Chambéry, from which she raised a tower above the sacristy, as a religious symbol. Amadeus IX, Duke of Savoy, Louis, Count of Geneva, King of Cyprus, Marie, Jean, Philip II, Duke of Savoy. Marguerite married firstly in December 1458 Giovanni IV Paleologo, Marquis of Montferrat, and secondly Pierre II de Luxembourg, Count of Saint-Pol, of Brienne, de Ligny, Marle, and Soissons. Pierre, Archbishop of Tarentaise. Janus, Count of Forceny and Geneva, married Hélène of Luxembourg, daughter of Louis de Luxembourg, Count of Saint-Pol, and his first wife Jeanne de Bar, Countess of Marle and Soissons. Charlotte married King Louis XI of France. Agnes married François d'Orléans, Duke of Longueville. The son is Louis I Orléans, Duc de Longueville. Jean-Louis, Bishop of Genève. Maria married Louis of Luxembourg, Count of Saint-Pol, of Brienne, de Ligny, and Conversano, Constable of France. Bon married Galeazzo Maria Sforza, Duke of Milan. Jacques Giacomo, Count of Romand, Lord of Vaud. Anne, François, Archbishop of Auch and Bishop of Geneva. Death. Anne died on the 11th of November 1462 in Geneva, Switzerland at the age of 44. Ancestors.